Hello my friends, Jacob is here once again. Thanks for pressing play and for spending a little time with me. This is not going to be the program that you think it is, but it is a very important one because, God is speaking, right? So you look at everything, how many times do I tell you that the world could be very much like a painting? When you go into the museum and you see a painting, you sit back and you go, I wonder what the artist meant. Well, everything that's happening in the world today is very much like that. There are these signs and these moments where we see these things playing out in the world. We understand that it is saying something that we should pay attention to. For example, today's program, what brought you in is the fact that the Satanic Temple of Washington is going to give the invocation. That is it's kind of like the prayer. It's at the state capitol. Yeah. This is for immediate release. Olympia, Washington, February 18th. The Congregation of Washington State Satanists have received official approval to perform a ritual at the Capitol building in Washington. A group of Satanists are opening the Capitol building with a satanic prayer or ritual. So what is being said here? Am I coming on here to attack those Satanists and say how evil they are? No, that's not the show. But I got to tell you something. It's time to be bold and it's time to wake up. So you better be buckled up because we got a lot to talk about today. Welcome back to the program. Yes, this Satanic Temple. Now listen, this group made some noise back in about 2015. There was an opening prayer at the 50-yard line at a football game, and they, of course, petitioned so that they could do the same. Made some big waves, and a lot of people, I saw a lot of channels talk about this. We understand that the Satanic Temple has slowly but surely done quite a few things. Got rid of prayer in certain areas, got the statue of Baphomet placed in federal buildings, got the Ten Commandments called into question. A lot of these things, right? They're not the enemy, though. They're not the enemy, okay? Because God is in control of all things. I want to say this, okay? You look at these. I went to the website and I checked out their page, and they have some videos and videos of their unbaptisms and these are like they're all like young kids, and they're all dressed in dark robes, and they're saying things, and you see them, and it's like I just want to give them all a hug. I really do. I know that that's going to probably trouble some of you, but a lot of them have the big the big holes in their ears. A lot of them have a lot of tattoos. They got a lot of spikes in. What is it that is drawing them there? What is it that has got them to say, you know what, forget like asking for the truth no matter what the cost. And I'm going to go to what all the religious people say is the enemy. I'm going to go to the enemy of God, right? Which, by the way, Satan, if you don't know what Satan is, comes from the word Satan, and it means adversary. And newsflash, God created Satan. God created. In Isaiah, we learn that he created the waster to destroy. You understand in the book of Job that Satan couldn't do anything unless the Lord commanded it. That many times Satan appeared in the Lord's presence. That Satan, this is going to blow your minds. Okay, so when I got my job working at Daystar Television Network, I remember I got there. I was so excited. I thought I was arriving at the promised land, and here I was going to be the head writer and producer of the fastest growing Christian network in the world, and I was going to do the Lord's work, and I was. But it wasn't long after I got there that I had a massive revelation about this Satan. And what it was is I was driving into work on my first day. It was like I had this idea that every shepherd needs a sheepdog. And that just hit me right here. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness gracious, everything that I thought I knew, I don't know anymore. It was kind of like Paul's moment on the road to Damascus, where he was set straight and he realized how blind he was. He thought that he knew it all and he knew nothing. He had to be humbled, face down in the dirt, blinded. He had to be led like a child. He had to learn everything all over again. So did I. And here I am now sharing with all of you because I knew that path, that religious path was not the way. It wasn't the answer. And a lot of people are putting their faith in that. And this is the reason that today we have the Satanic Temple opening the Capitol building on March 6th. This is the reason, because religion hasn't offered them the truth. Religion has only offered them shame. I talked about shame in the last couple of shows. I've talked about, racing negative thoughts and how that is a possession of thoughts. I've thought about how everybody is suffering today. Many of these, as I'm watching these videos of these young adults, and I'm just thinking, if only they knew they were more. They're putting their faith in something. It's the equivalent of a shepherd sheepdog. And how do I know this, right? How do I know this? Well, biblically, that is exactly what Satan is. In the book of Isaiah, I think it's chapter 45, the Lord says very clearly that I make the light, I make the darkness, I create peace, I create evil. And that word for evil, it means like calamity and things that happen, like all of the bad stuff God's in charge of. I know that people don't want to believe that, right? They don't want to believe that all the horrible things in the world are God's doing. No, they're there because when you leave the truth of God, when you leave the love of God, you do horrible things. And when you do horrible things, you are reaping what you sow. Then you end up in this world where we have very clearly shown that Satan is now opening, our government. Interesting. Interesting. And it's not them. They're not the bad people. And I don't think that any of you should show up on March 6th and go over there. If anything, if you're going to show up, go over there and show them love. Offer them hope. Let them know that, they're not less than for what they believe. They're not less than for what they think. They're not less than for how they have become who they are. They've just been lost. They've just been lost. And Christ is the good shepherd that'll go after that one little sheep and let the 99 go on their own. Christ is that good shepherd. Do you know that out of all the Lord gave Yahshua to save in Scripture, okay? He says, out of all you've given me, I've lost not one, save the son of perdition, the son of hell, the child of hell, the Antichrist spirit that is at work in the land today. It's at work in religion. It's at work at your job. It's at work in your home. Yesterday, I was talking to my good friend KJ. I called him up. I said, no, actually, I think he called me or something. I don't know. I saw that he released another awesome video, and I was like, I wanted to talk to him because I just felt like I was under this oppression for the last couple of days. I was conflicted about doing the video that I just did. I was conflicted about a lot of things, and I had a lot of these thoughts that were coming in, things that were getting me to question, am I really making a difference? Does this really matter? And those thoughts are not true. And when you resist those thoughts, you understand that you do have a purpose, that God does have a plan, and that you're going to be okay. So I started pouring my heart out to KJ, and KJ tells me about this show that he did. And he said, hey, did you see that Trump rode the beast at the Daytona 500? I was like, whoa, because I was just thinking about talking to you about all of this, all of the symbolism that is playing out in the world. Trump riding the beast. Trump rides the beast. Trump on The Economist magazine, sitting on the world, bringing judgment to the world. Listen, y'all, there's a virus of the crown, right? There's a virus of the crown. This is what everybody is worried about. And this virus of the crown is getting everybody to think that they need to be separate from everybody. And I'm telling you, as it plays out in the world, you see all of the vision and all of the fear and all of that stuff happening. And I would be lying to you if I did not say to you that I'm concerned. But let me tell you something. God is bigger than all of this. And God creates light, and God creates darkness. You don't think that God has a hand in what's going on right now? Do you think that really that this is all that matters? Let me tell you something. I've been saying since, 2015, I've come on here. I've been saying that the world is going to turn on its head, that it's going to go upside down. And I even gave like a timeline. It says 7 years, the Joseph 7 years. I did a video on that if you can check it out. And I said about 3.5 years into this 7-year cycle, because there's these two eclipses. They call them the Great American Eclipse. And there's these 7 years. And I said about 3.5 years into it, it's going to get pretty difficult and scary. But I also said that those that are seeking the truth, no matter what the cost, that those that are seeking the Lord, that those that are going to love instead of hate, those that are going to forgive instead of hold on to a grudge, those that are going to be charitable instead of being greedy, it's going to be okay. I'm telling you. There is more going on in the world and around than you know. So all of this stuff that's playing out, all of this stuff is not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Having a dream, it has to sometimes turn into a little bit of a nightmare to get you to wake up. And I'm saying, wake up, everybody. Wake up. I understood today, after a lot of praying, because I do a lot of praying. I do. A good portion of my life. I understand now that, the Lord's given me this, where I get to talk to all of you, right? And I'm very little different in church. I'm not church. I'm not tax exempt, right? That's why I'm wearing a buckle up shirt. You want to support the channel, get the buckle up shirt. But I understand that you all know that what I'm sharing here is a little bit more than the thumbnail. That's just the bait. And I always ask people not to judge the fisherman by the bait. And now I'm going to start casting out of the right side of this ship, the right side. You're going to see probably a little bit of a different Jacob in the coming days. I'm very excited. Going to New York City very soon to the Stone of Destiny. It awaits, the Holy Grail. We're going to be talking about it, and I'm excited about it. But I want you to understand something. If you think that this Satanic Temple, you think that these people, right, who have same issues as you, right, have to pay their bills, have to deal with this, have to deal with that, they're just looking for what you're all looking for. They're looking for something to believe in. They want to feel like they matter. They want to feel like they have a purpose. They want to feel like they're special. They don't feel it. That's why they're seeking it. Same reason why everybody goes to their temple, to their mosque, to their guru, to their favorite YouTuber, everybody goes where they're going because they want more. And they don't understand that all they have to do is ask for the truth no matter what the cost. The more is waiting, and it's time. As they say to the messengers of the world, if you're listening, thrust the sickle in. The harvest is now. It's been playing out everywhere. Symbolism everywhere we look. The world we're in right now has forgotten God, but I'm telling you that you're going to see some mighty deeds indeed, and I hope that you understand that those mighty deeds are going to happen in your life. So ask for the Holy One of Jacob, right? Ask for the strong one of Jacob. Ask for the mighty one of Jacob. Ask for the God of Jacob, who I love to serve. Because I am telling you, you're his child, and you just forgot. And the Lord is waiting there with open arms for you to return. I just hope that you don't have to be waiting at the trough where the pigs are, eating the corn husks, starving to death to get there. I think you should do it now. I'm just saying. I love each and every one of you. Please do share it around. Tell your friends, have the best day ever. And don't forget that even Satan, which means adversary, works for the Lord. The victory is won. It's just playing out. And if you don't believe me, just turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 5. Just listen to this. When you are gathered together in the Spirit of Christ, with the power of Christ, which is the power and wisdom of God, to deliver such unto Satan. You got people in your life that are having a hard time. You can't get through. The love of God can't get through. Deliver them unto Satan. That was the advice that they were given. Deliver one unto the Satan. Now, why would you want to deliver someone to Satan? Why would you want to say, just let him go into that dangerous lifestyle? Just let him go. If you can't, just let him go. For the destruction of the flesh. Now listen to this next line. That the spirit may be saved in the day of Lord Yahshua. The way, the truth, and the life. When you're gathered together in the Spirit of Christ, if you got people in your midst that are hurting you, you got to love them. You got to forgive them. You got to offer them. You got to offer them the love of God. But if you can't get through, just let them alone. Don't tear them down. Just let them alone. Because Satan's at work, destroying that carnal mind, to destroy the flesh, so that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord. I love each and every one of you. Please do subscribe, share it around, tell your friends, and have the best day ever. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.